throw in
DRX
some...
losing. T1 against Trace. T1
Wait,
Trace.
who do we got left? Who do we got left?
T1 have to play against Trace. We need a loser, sir.
Loser of T1 Trace?
Yes.
I've already picked...
Of T1 Trace?
Yes.
I've already picked up the badge.
I'm sweating profusely from this pick.
Don't make me swap this.
Trace loses.
Trace loses? I didn't want to have to pick up another badge.
Okay, wonderful. Now why have I picked up Vitality again? Who are we missing here?
I don't know. Who is
Team
that?
Liquid. Team Liquid.
Bro, I'm
They're going
lost.
there.
I'm actually lost.
All right, who's advancing?
Guys, surely Europe is on top this time.
Okay, so G2 and Team Liquid.
G2TL going through. Wait, what's happening? What is happening? What is...
Just gonna start throwing random stuff up. Sentinels! We love Sentinels! Clout! Woo! Woo! Swissology!
I don't know why I'm cheering for Sentinels.
जीतेगा तो भाई Sentinel I think.
Now we know what the D and DJ stands for. Director, getting some common sense in there. Do you agree with some of the picks that Safe was saying?
I agree with everything that Safe said, and I stand behind every single one of his decisions.
Yeah, especially at the end there. Sentinels being both 1-in-1 qualified spots and both 1-in-1 losses makes a lot of sense to me.
It's a very Sentinels way of doing things.
That wasn't Safe though. I felt like that was the only part he had no play in.
And it was the only bad part.
It was actually the only bad part. There is another prize, however, up for grabs. The MVP award. The winner will be voted on by the press, talent, and co-streamer, and there is a special prize. You guys have seen it before. There will be another bracelet, of course. The two bracelets we have gone out to so far has been Kung and Fluorescent. Do you guys think that Kung can do the back-to-back bracelet?
It would be so badass, you know, to just turn up and rock up with both of them. But I would like it to have a new owner.
Kung has never not won an MVP trophy in China. He's won every single one that has been available, so an obvious choice there. But I might send out to continue the bias Bren was showing someone like Leaf, who is playing incredible in America.
Okay.
There's a lot of candidates.
You said you wanted another contender, so who?
I'm gonna go for DRX.
DRX.
Out of Fnatic, but still being the Lanimal that we know and love. I would love that.
I support every word that you just said.
Anything that's coming from EMEA, I will take.
Honestly, DRX, Kiko, any of them, I would be happy, of course. And speaking of EMEA, they will be in action first here. EDG will be taking on Team Liquid in our opening game. And of course, this is a little bit of a throwback, Mimi. We've seen this matchup before.
Yeah, a while ago at Masters Tokyo, but a lot has changed since then. For EDG, this was their breakout tournament. They made it deep for the first time ever at a global event, and it was a tough time for Liquid, honestly, back then as well, Bea.
Yeah, exactly. But even with all of that, Team Liquid is still undefeated versus EDG. But as you're saying, things are very different now. This was not the EDG that is now a world champion. And this is also not the Team Liquid that we were seeing here with Redgar, with Yampi, with Safe also as well.
Yeah, you only have one player left over from that roster, who's Nats, now the IGL of this team, back again.
And of course, EDG, it's a tiny bit of a shaky start for them to get here, but they got here. And there's a reason why, Mimi, that despite being shaky that they got here.
Yeah, I mean, the run to get here is crazy, because they started out for like the first time ever losing to teams. They lost 13-4, 2 maps to Trace, went to the lower bracket. Then they back-to-back won 13-0s and looked in championship form again. But there's a very parallel story there as well with Team Liquid, Bea, who also struggled early on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they had to go through the entirety of the lower round. And it was the worst because, you know, because of the format, even if you won the first match, you would still be placed in the first round of the lower. So them doing it until the end proves a lot of character.
And I need you to defend them, Kakuka, because the tier list, the predictions, the disrespect I have seen from the community against
I mean, you're saying the community, dog, it was me. I said I'd glue myself to the chair if they made it here. I was a hater, but they're here now and they're good.
Kakuka, please defend them and tell people, give them a reason.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, I will bring that glue because I think that you owe that to them. But
I do.
Hear me out. Team Liquid looked so bad against Foot. It was the advantages that they were throwing. They were not playing as a team, and we could understand that because of the changes that they had. But they made a decision. We're going to swap things around. We're going to go back to basics. With the Nats on the IGL, they managed to swap some, identify their weaknesses and their strengths, and match through match, they were getting stronger. They are the team that has played by far the most out of this tournament. And if reps are something to value, Team Liquid is winning.
Yeah, this lower bracket run from them was absolutely incredible. And I think you saw a really good connection between the players form out of that. The team fighting in these later games looked absolutely on point. They were playing off each other so well. You built up confidence even for the new guys. And a returning guy like Kiko, who ended up being the best rated player of EMEA after having a tough first year in the league. It was truly an incredible redemption for Team Liquid.
And of course, the role swap. I mean, I almost want to say a soft role swap because Kukuko, there's also places that he doesn't play smokes. And you guys saw there as well. Yes, Nat is back. It's been such a long time since we've seen him on the global stage.
Yeah, exactly. But I think everybody is very happy. Obviously, Chicho is going to be extremely happy to be playing up against him. But we know that he, even though he has different duties now and even some added weight onto what he has to do into the game, he is still in the same form. And that is very difficult to maintain throughout the years.
Yeah, and I know some people are upset the Heretic didn't make it, but Paddy is here. Let's hear what he had to say to Mika Fabs ahead of his first global event with Team Liquid.
Paddytech, it is so good to see you here. I want you to just look back to a year ago where you're standing by the stage watching as your former team took on EDG in the grand finals of Champions Seoul. I want to know how much did that moment impact your mentality going into this first match versus EDG, especially now that you're with Team Liquid and you get to take matters into your own hands this time.
It was tough to watch them lose, you know, but as you just said, now I can take the matters into my hands and I have the control over the game. Last year when I was watching the game and the Heretics game, it was really hard to watch because I couldn't do anything, obviously, and they were losing, so it was hard to watch. But now everything is in my hands, so let's see what's going to happen.
Now you have the power. Super exciting. Good luck.
Thank you.
I mean, we saw it back in EMEA, right? Paddytech knocked out every single one of his former teammates every single match he played, and he's on a mission here, Mimi. He's here not just to perform on the global stage again, but also get revenge.
Absolutely. I mean, for this guy, having the year he did and then getting sidelined as just the sub for Team Heretics, being a sub in the past before that, we waited so long for him to have an opportunity to shine as a part of a full-time roster. He has that chance with Team Liquid, and immediately it's success, going all the way to the finals and qualifying to another global where Team Heretics didn't.
And I have to say, I think that probably for Paddytech has been one of the biggest glow-ups that we've had in the history of Valorant, from thinking about 2020 and 2021 to where he is right now. Last year becoming the sub of the year because of what he did for Team Heretics. We even had some doubts. Is he going to be picked out for this year? And I think that Team Liquid just absolutely nailed it. If you have not been seeing Team Liquid while they were playing in EMEA, the way everything fits in so well, he is still the god support that we saw last year.
And of course, the man on your screen here, the only Thai representation at Masters Bangkok in Thailand. I know the fans are definitely going to be behind him. And his IGL Nats, we want to talk about glow-ups. Mimi, he's consistently been glowing since the first day we saw him on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was after a rough patch in his career, having been one of the biggest names of
Something actually very difficult to deal with, because he always has his utility to play around when he plays it from the attack. And I really want to know how some teams are going to deal with the Nats issue.
Do you think he's going to tell them to disrespect Chichu? I think
he can't.
That would break his heart.
That would be too tough
That
for
would
him.
absolutely break his heart. But I think you're right. I think EDG, they need to anticipate the sniper usage he's going to have. And I wouldn't even be surprised if he is one of the leading outlaw users in this tournament, for you know, just for love. But speaking of Chichu, the reason we mentioned this is, of course, Nat is going to be going up against his biggest fan. And I did my weekly third wheeling and joined them for a quick chat. Take a look at this. Welcome to Duo-Q, where I'm joined by the dream duo here. That is Chichu from EDG and Nats from Team Liquid. Luna's going to help me with some translations as well. I know the fans are very excited for this matchup. You guys have a lot of history as well. So I thought we'd play a game where I'm going to ask you a question and I want you to choose whether you put yourself as the answer or the other person as the answer. So I'm going to go straight into it. Who is the better Cypher player?
谁是更好的零的使用者呢？对，直接
You gotta put, yeah, me or him, me or him. I want you to show the camera when you're ready. No, you both put the other person? Okay, I'll start with Chichu because I feel like we expect you to say Nats.
因为我看到他很多的 PUV 嘛，然后玩这个英雄也是学习了他，所以说就很简单。他应该算是我的老师嘛 ，teacher。
I watched a lot of his POV, and also I learned from his Cypher. He's my teacher, actually.
Are you surprised that he put you?
你会感觉他选的答案是你，你会觉得比较惊喜吗？
我挺意外的。
All right. Okay. So Juju was very surprised you put him. So do you want to explain to us why you chose him?
I mean, he's a very good player. He's a very good Cypher. I think he's improving a lot on this agent, especially from what I saw from the previous year. He has different ideas. And even though he says that he's watching a lot, I think he's bringing his ideas also into that. And that's interesting to watch, because some of the stuff he does, I don't do. That's why kind of I put it.
Juju's going to be so happy with this. I feel like I love this. Very wholesome. Next one is who is the better clutcher?
谁在残局当中会表现更加优异一点呢？
Oh, okay. Juju's put him. So yeah, why?
我觉得，因为我觉得就是我很多这种残局的思路都是走他的操作里面去汲取的嘛。然后我也觉得，之前我们打Team Liquid的比赛，残局其实也打得不是很好嘛。然后我觉得还需要进步，对，而且我也觉得我的残局现在还不太够吸引。
His ad
ये
we
बोली
faced
तेज
against
रहा है
the
क्या?
Team Liquid before.
Language
Seems
जैसी
like we
है।
didn't play too well, and also feels like I still have a lot of things to improve during my clutches, and feel like I still have to learn.
Yeah.
अबे 8 मिनट पड़े हैं
Keep
अभी।
watching NASA streams. I feel like you'll get them. And last one, who is the colder player on stage? You know, less emotional, very unbothered, like
冷静的选手。
cold. Yeah, cold. Oh, you have to think about this one, Naz. You're really thinking about this one. I think Chuchu's ready. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, he's also
He's
thinking.
not ready.
He's not ready
He's
also.
not ready.
Oh wow, this is a hard one.
When I'm playing, I'm not really watching how the enemy is reacting, especially because monitor is too close to me. If they lose, if they win, I don't really pay attention to it. That's why it's hard for me to say who is emotional, who is not.
Have you got an answer?
我觉得是都是。
The same? Are we allowed that? Okay, it's my game, so I will bend the rules.
Okay.
What did you write, Naz?
I write me, but if he feels like that, because as I said, I don't really pay attention.
Okay.
If he thinks, because I'm pretty sure he compares, I agree with that.
Are you guys okay with
Yeah.
settling as you're
Yeah.
both the coldest?
Yeah.
对因为我觉得他刚刚说他不知道我的风格嘛，然后就我觉得应该是一样的。对我打比赛还是比较冷静的。
I think it's similar because while doing the matchup, I'm pretty cool, pretty calm on the stage.
Did he also study that from Nats? Is that?
那这一点也是从 Nats 身上所学到的吗？
这个还不是，这个我就在 EDG 的第一场比赛我紧张过，后面其实我感觉应该就是自身的一些东西。
Actually not. I only feel like stage jitter when my first matchup on the stage was EDG. But after that, I think that's my own quality.
Oh wow, okay, we got two cold players. Play
You guys think this is a high-pass match? I feel like EDG's first here.
Best luck in your game.
Is there a bigger and better compliment than Nats telling you that you are better than him on Cypher?
No. Next question.
I think that's it. I think that's just...
Yeah,
move on.
Yeah, absolutely. But to see this interactions between players, to see that we can have this wholesomeness, it's going to be very important. Also, the last thing that they were speaking about being cold on stage, because there are some new faces that are going to be there for the first time, and for EDG, they have to defend that title.
Yeah, and no new faces for EDG though. Mimi, is this an advantage, you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the two teams that have made really minimal changes are always going to come out advantages. More than just that, but I think if Team America is making one change, EDG sticking by their roster completely, who lifted that trophy just a few months ago in Seoul. Like we mentioned earlier, the first team who's done that, who comes back in the exact same way, with the exact same roster. And while they had that rocky start, that time it takes to actually get a roster to mesh together, for all the players to know how the others play, how the others are as people, that takes a long time, and I think it's a big advantage for EDG coming into this event.
I think also if we look at what happened last year, the Neon had a lot of weight into what they were doing, something that they're still playing to this day. For me, for them, the challenge this event is how they're going to face off against the teams that have advanced in the meta, that are incorporating new things. Some of them, they don't even get to see in the region, but at least they had a longer time to prep because it's been a month since their kickoff.
Yeah, I I do think it is so interesting how unique they are compared to other teams. We've seen a lot of movement towards like the Teo, Yoru ideas. They're the only real region and one of the few teams who's actually stuck by the Neon, and it was effective back then. There were nerfs, but I think people are too fast to write that agent off because Hong Kong is still an absolute beast on Neon.
It fits them. Yeah, and as you said, they've had the longest break too. I think they would have made a very, very good use of this. But the 2024 Champs MVP is in the building, and this is what Kong had to say to Mika fans.
The defending champions are back on the global stage. Kong, what is your message to all of the teams who are going to come for you this whole year and the rest of EDG? We have my good friend Luna here to help with some translation.
那有没有什么话是想要对今年冲着你们而来、想要挑战你们的队伍说的呢？
我觉得友谊第一，比赛第二吧，然后享受游戏就好了。
I think the first to come up first is our friendship, and next is our competition, the competitive whole thing, right? I just gonna enjoy the stage.
Friends, competition, and enjoying the stage. Gotta love it. Good luck, Kong.
I love how humble he is out here. He's just happy to see his mates, you know, it's like summer camp being here. But having said that though, do you guys feel like he is still the best player coming into this tournament?
I think that there is a discussion to be had, definitely. It depends on, again, thinking of the plans and the things that they were doing in the region. I was going to say, the Neon just fits them. The more aggressive, again, always going in as a pack, it gives him that kind of freedom. And he could definitely be up there and prove that maybe following the meta is not that important for them.
It's a testament to how good he is. What's going on, no matter what the meta, no matter what changes within the team, this guy is always an absolute beast in the server. I mean, you saw it in China where he was putting up insane stats and yet another split. You saw it at Champions. He's just incredibly consistent. And he's also so unique, right? Still playing Neon, still offing as much as he is. He's a player that in and of himself, you have to think about how to play.
And I do wonder what this means for the players of Team Liquid, because you have players like Kiko and Camo as well, who never played on a stage this big. And for the duelist players, Kukuku, they have to go up against Kong.
There is a lot of pressure. I think that it also comes down to how the map beta is going to go, but Team Liquid have been in such great pressure throughout the entirety of the year that they should be quote-unquote used to this. I know that it's very important, like just having all the people behind you and just being on a bigger stage against an opponent that you've never played against, but I'm hopeful for them.
Yeah, I think you have to be, but it is a big difference, right? Team Liquid had to start from scratch this year. Nats is the IGL, all of these rookie players coming in. They're on the start of their journey. This is deep in for EDG. This is their second year. Their confidence has to be super high on that stage already.
And I wonder how much faith you guys have in EDG as well, because it's time for the results for our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you which region will take home the trophy. The results are in, and it is, I mean, it's closer than I thought it would be, and you guys have voted Americas first, then Pacific second. Mimi, you must be happy with this.
Yeah, I mean, I think China getting clearly underrated in this pool, but I'd imagine a lot of G2 believers and a lot of